Well, a very important game for us. Sunday in Baton Rouge. LSU has an outstanding team. It will be a very, very tough game. We'll have to prepare well to beat them. Had a tough game with them here in Lexington, and the final margin was not indicative of how difficult the game was. So we'll have our hands full. Another real tough road test for us, and we'll have to respond to get a victory.
What is it about LSU? Is it a matchup? I mean, the South Carolina, you always talk about it being kind of a matchup problem for you. Is there something specific about LSU?
Well, they're very, very talented, and they have some explosive scorers at really three positions, with Plaisance is very, very difficult to guard. And then, two of their guards, 10 and 32, are really, really just difficult players to deal with. So, three of the better offensive players in the league they can put on the floor. And so I thought in the first game they did a great job of trying to find some weak links for us. And we had some struggles on that day. So it'll be imperative that we have great defensive preparation. But another thing, they are really, really battling for the NCAA tournament and trying to get that berth. I know that's important to them while they're hosting there in Baton Rouge. So I just think it's going to be a real motivated group and a very talented group. So it'll be a tough game for us.
I feel like Denisha's turned the corner. Do you think that was the game that maybe gave her a little confidence?
Sure hope so. And, she's played well, certainly was inconsistent there for a stretch. Such a long season. It's amazing if a player doesn't have some type of struggle throughout the season. So she responded at the right time. We certainly needed that kind of performance Monday night. And I would think Denisha and all of our team, you should leave that game understanding what you accomplished and how well you played. And I would think that would give you a lot of confidence.
Is she too nice to play in the SEC?
No, she's not that nice of a kid. I'll tell you, she's, I have all sorts of problems with her, and she's not too nice to play. No, she's.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand the question. She's. I think what Denisha struggles with is just confidence in herself, and for all of us who can watch her and think that's silly because she is so dynamic and so talented. We're not inside her brain, inside her head. And that's why they're young people and they're growing, and they are hopefully here at Kentucky to learn how to have confidence in themselves and how to accomplish things and what is important when you get done playing basketball. So she's done a great job for us. I think she's in the right place to grow as a person, and she's grown a lot, and we will continue to try to help her grow.
If you can talk a little bit about Castine Evans and I'll say her confidence when she comes in off the bench. I mean, the lift that she's provided when you started her recently.
Yeah, we were having this discussion with the coaching staff, and Matt Insel made a good point that he really thought the change for her starting made her, maybe more clearly defined her importance to the team and got her. It was a great change for her, just like we thought it was a great change for Bria. The same thing was true for Castine. She seemed to have more of a sense of purpose, and she has played much better since she's been in the starting lineup. So we were trying to get Bria going. We thought we had Castine playing pretty well, but she was able to elevate her game. So it's really been a good result for us with that change. And Castine is just a player that we're really fortunate she decided to come to Kentucky. She's a winner in every way imaginable, and she is playing great basketball for us right now, playing with a lot of confidence.
I don't want to kind of get into opponents' heads in terms of what they, maybe how it throws them off, but, I mean, it gave you a different look. Do you think that that's been kind of that's kind of helped you in some of these games that opponents are expecting a different look, expecting the same lineup, and then she starts and it gives kind of a different dimension?
Well, maybe initially when we first made the change, that may have had some effect, but I think really what the net result is both players are playing better, so we're playing better. And I think that's really the story with the lineup change. Both players responded to it in a way where they are performing much better than when the situation was reversed. So I just think that you're getting better play from both players, and that's improving our team.
Obviously, everybody wants to do well in March. They want to do well in the tournament. But with 3 games to go, how important is the SEC to you to try and win that title?
Well, to me, it's in my mind extremely important, because what we're trying to do here is become the best women's basketball program in the country. And when we say program, that means that year after year we are striving and achieving excellence. And so, for us as a program that doesn't have a lot of tradition, I think championships are very important. And if we don't win the SEC regular season title, we're still going to have a very good seed in the NCAA tournament. We're still going to have a very good team going into the NCAA tournament. If we're firing on all cylinders, I don't think anybody's going to be jumping up and down excited to play us. But just from my standpoint and what we're trying to do here at Kentucky, the regular season title is within our grasp, and we need to do everything we can to get it, because I think it's very important. And maybe more so than if you were in a different situation. But standing here thinking about that question, I think it's really important. We want it badly. Yeah, she's done better. She's done better. She has practiced better. That was the whole key for her. Her energy and focus in practice started moving away from concentrating on defense and being really solid there. And, to be quite frank with you, in the LSU game, they really tried to pick on her defensively. So today's practice, we'll be addressing with her how important it is for her to start her game from a defensive mindset, and it seems like it flows from there. The player that played at Missouri, I keep going back and trying to tell her that was one of her best games, and it wasn't one of her highest scoring games. She was really, really tenacious on defense, and that's what we need Sunday. And that's what we need down the stretch here if we want to be champions. We need Jennifer O'Neal operating at a really high level on the defensive end.
Looking at just the last couple games, first half without Adia, and then you could still play really well, and then Denisha maybe not having her best game against South Carolina. What does that do in terms of the mentality for players, kind of relieving pressure a little bit?
Yeah, you just have to believe that it gives us confidence. It certainly does from a coaching perspective. It's really amazing. In Denisha and Adia, you're talking about two of the most talented players and most physically gifted players in the league. And, you win 2 games against 2 of the best teams in the league without, really a normal contribution from your 2 most talented players, and it's really remarkable. We have a good team. It seems like they understand what we need to do to win, and those were 2 great performances, especially the last 20 minutes of South Carolina and then the full 40 for Texas A&M. It was some good stuff. So we're just, as a coaching staff, trying to encourage them to build on that. They just need to build on that. We need to put every single amount of energy we can into this preparation for LSU and do everything we can to go down there and get a victory. It will be real tough, but we're sure going to try like heck to get it.
How much confidence as a coach have you gained being here? I mean, seeing what you've been able to kind of build, how much has that kind of changed your approach to the game? How many things do you feel like you feel comfortable about doing with players, with strategy, things like that?
Well, I think if you work hard at it and you're able to surround yourself with really good people and give yourself an opportunity to compete at the highest level, and you get into games that really matter and really are important. Just the fact that you're there gives you the experience, and every time you get some experience, if you pay attention and learn something from it, I think you feel a little bit more confident that you can handle it the next time, or you're at least getting yourself prepared. So as a coach, just the fact that we've been here now 6 seasons and have had all those experiences and have had some successes to learn from, and certainly our share of failures to learn from, I just think all of that over time certainly builds your confidence as a coach.